Hey everybody, George Soto here. Hope all is well. Today I'm on a bit of a rant. Over the last, I'm going to say a couple years since the whole COVID thing um, and some of the related events, I think it's fair to say that the world has gone through a lot, and I think we understand that. One of the things that I have seen, and I don't know if this is a function of education, of being, in a remote environment, all the stuff that we went through as a species, as a world, as a society. But I've seen customer support, customer experience, professionalism just go straight down the tubes. And I get it that this is a complex topic. I understand that we're humans, but I just have to stress for the salespeople out there, for the customer success slash support folks, professionalism is really, 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 really important. In fact, I'm going to argue that it is one of the new moats. Yes, I'm going to say that. I can't tell you how many sales calls that I've been on, how many customer support slash success onboardings and calls that I've been on that have been just completely shockingly inappropriate and unprofessional. Um, so I'm going to make this quick video here for you all today. Hopefully, this is shocking that I even have to say this very basic stuff, but it's just happened enough times that I feel a duty to my LinkedIn feed, to the world, to the business environment and market, to kind of say this and provide some insights, which again seem like 101, but apparently not. So, number one, from a sales person's perspective, and then also speaking from the buying side, salespeople out there, you have to put your best foot forward. Period. You're representing a brand. Unless this is your company and you just want to like have a certain tone, which good luck. You do have to put forward some professionalism. There's rapport building. There is proper acumen and tone and these sort of things that you want to start a call with, right? So like, hey, what's up, dude? How's it going? That casual stuff might work for some folks, but you never know who you're speaking to, what day they're having, those sort of things, right? So you always want to cover yourself, and you always want to put your most professional foot forward early on in the call. It is possible, and it is likely that if you're having a great conversation and you have a lot of things in common, and maybe you have been able to observe that the prospect is a little more casual, then you can sort of loosen up a little bit, I would say. But there is something called professionalism and actually having a presentable flow or conversation, especially early on in a call. First, especially if you don't know the prospect or customer, that you have to. Again, this is crazy that this is happening. I think there is definitely something to the fact that we are working from home, and you might be in a really casual conversation mode because you're like at home, right? And it's just like you might not even have your shoes on or whatever, right? um, so that's fair, right? But this is one of the things that we have to do. We have to be able to get into that mindset, into that zone, and get into professional sales conversation. Now, if you're in some other industry, I'm in B2B software, enterprise software. So I'm not in the music industry. I'm not in the comedy entertainment industry. Um, so like as a buyer of these kinds of products, I expect a certain level of professionalism. It is not acceptable to say I don't know my product in and out. Sorry, there's a lot to it and I don't know. That is not acceptable. Customer success and salespeople, right? There's another way to get around that. right? And you, without being dishonest, with saying, let me get back to you on that, I'm going to find some solutions, but leading with I don't know, those sort of things, and just kind of leaving the prospect or existing customer, which is even more shocking, without an answer or solution. Because remember, again, 101, but employees, it's likely that the stakeholder you're speaking to on the other side is an employee at a company. They're not the owner of the company. They likely have a manager or someone they have to report to, whatever title you want to call it, that is expecting that they provide solutions and getting stuff done. And so leaving the customer without a solution, or the prospect in that case, or within a sales situation without a solution, is just number one, not professional, and just blows my mind that that even continues to happen. And again, this there's so many examples that I've encountered recently, uh, that it's just shocking. But not only is that not professional, not the way you do it, but you then leave the stakeholder, your prospect or customer, in a situation where they have to go back to the people that they have to report to and communicate bad news, which is we don't have a solution and I don't know what the answer is with this existing product or with this option in the set of solutions or products that they are reviewing, right? If you're in a buying situation. So what's going to happen, and I'm going to wrap up with this because I could go on and on about this, for you folks who get it. Again, this is 101, but again, we're living in a different world. So what's going to happen if you're in a sales situation and I'm a buyer and I'm talking to a prospect who is not treating me, and no, maybe there's a little ego sometimes and you want to feel respected, but it's the same sort of feeling like when you walk into a storefront and someone greets you really nicely and offers you a mint and a glass of water, right? And you're buying shoes or something. It's a pleasant experience. Is it feeding your ego? Maybe, but that's called a pleasant, awesome buying experience or customer experience. So what's the version of that within our B2B world, right? And so back to my point, if I am now reviewing 3 options and you showed up late, or like you were talking to your fraternity brother or sister in, or sorority, in that kind of way, I don't know you, and that's your best foot forward, and you're not showing me that you're a great presenter and know what's going on and excited and so on, and you look like you're just getting out of playing Xbox, and now your calendar invite popped up and you got to jump on a call. I am, and then beyond that, you don't know the answers and not excited and proactive about helping me. I'm gonna deprioritize or maybe not even talk to you again, right? Now I'm gonna go and talk to those 2 other options. If they're the same way, then I'm gonna kind of figure it out. It's likely that someone within those 3 options that I interface with are going to give me a better experience than that, right? So I'm gonna then say, you know what, that was the better experience that I've had. That's going to be the bias that I'm going to walk into a decision-making committee on my side with, right? If I am a customer and you're providing me this kind of stuff where I'm getting on support calls or whatnot, and you're clearly giving me misinformation, you don't know your product, you're not excited about helping me solve stuff, let me tell you, I'm going to, that might go over once, maybe twice, maybe, but I'm going to now start to open my mind to finding a better solution, because I am at work and I need to trust the provider that I'm working with, right? Period. This is not me buying shoes where it's just me making that decision. I need to get stuff done at work. And so I'm going to start to open up the possibility of finding another solution that I can trust, that has the professionalism and the product know-how, and is more importantly excited about helping me find solutions to things and get things done, right? That's what's going to happen, y'all. I'm going to go and try to find other solutions, alternatives. That's why alternative to X product slash company are great SEO terms, right? Because that's what's happening. And let me tell you something, if I find the solution that maybe is giving me a better experience, or maybe is slightly cheaper from a pricing perspective, or maybe has some additional feature, or maybe doesn't even have the features, the full breadth of features that you have, maybe is the same price, but they just gave me a better sense that they had some organizational rigor and professionalism, I might churn, right? So for the folks out there, please keep this in mind. You have to lead with your best foot forward. For the leaders out there, man, a lot of your reps are doing really poor jobs. They're not doing the right thing. For the CEOs and leaders out there, check check the different layers of your organization. Make sure that these things are happening. Your customer experience is one of your moats. And in a world where products are commoditized, especially in today's world with AI, when all these things can be automated and it's continuing to move down that path, the customer experience, the amount that you care, the excitement, all the things that I spoke to today, the inspiration by your staff, by the stakeholders at your organization to help customers and prospects find solutions and win. These are going to be competitive edges. Hope you have a great day. And for the reps out there, to that customer success person that I just spoke to and I had to lecture and teach 101 communication to, I'm not going to say the company because I'm not in this to poo-poo on any organization out there. I hope that we get better, and I hope that we get better as a collective. Have a great day.